Okay, let's just wait 2 more minutes before we get started fully. Yeah. So I hope you guys are with your laptop.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's nice. Okay, so I guess people will be joining us during the call. So once again, good evening everyone from anywhere you are joining this call. So as you might have known, this bootcamp is basically organized by OUI Tech Community, which is repotecc. Yeah, so for this particular track now, we'll be learning Flutter, that is the how to get started with Flutter and everything that has to do with Flutter. So the first and foremost thing I would like to do is to just introduce myself. So before I do that, please confirm if you can hear me clearly.
I can hear you.
Okay, so yeah, so thanks. So now my name is Samuel Adekunle. I'm a mobile engineer with Flutter. I've been working with Flutter for over 30 plus years now. So I've worked with various companies ranging from fintech, restaurant, and some other couple of projects that I'm currently working on. So I'm a member of OUI, GDS OUI team, and I'll be the one anchoring this Twitter section. Although I have some other guys with me that will be also taking some of the section throughout the bootcamp. So, but basically today I'll be the one doing the introduction. So for today now we'll be doing the introduction to Flutter and that, and how to set up um, Flutter and that on your device. So that's basically what we'll be doing throughout today. Yeah. So I would like to ask some question before we actually get started to introduction to Flutter. Is anyone familiar with Flutter at all? That is, have you tried Flutter before or something, or you have just come across Flutter or all those stuff? So I would like some response if you have actually studied Flutter before.
No, no. This is my first time actually.
Okay. Anyone else?
No,
Nobody
this
is
is my
familiar.
first time.
Okay. Okay, that's great then. So since most of us are actually new with Flutter, then I have to start from the very scratch. So before actually going into the introduction to Flutter, I would like, because I just a quick question: are we with our laptops? Because we will need our laptop to actually install some of the softwares that we'll be using throughout the course. So away with our laptop,
Yes.
you can actually drop message on the chat section. So you can just say I okay or just respond to whatever question I'm asking. Okay, that's great. So I would like us to actually download some software before I actually go into. Wow, your system is down. Okay. So this is Nigeria. We are used to it, but I will just try and drop some links for some software that you need to download before we actually go into introduction. So while we are doing the introduction, all the software will be downloading. Um, the first and foremost software that we need to download is Flutter. So let me try and share my screen. Let me try and share my screen so we can all see what is going on. Okay. I believe you can all see my screen, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, perfectly.
Okay, so now I will be dropping this link on the chat section. So just if you're on your laptop right now, you can just go to flutter.dev. So once you get to flutter.dev, click on get started. Although I will still drop the link on the group, on the I'll drop the link on the channel also. Then I will still drop the link on the chat section. So sorry, is there anybody here on Mac OS or Linux? Because me myself, I'm on Windows. Is anybody here on Mac OS, that is on MacBook? Okay, in the absence of no response, that means we are all on Windows, I believe. Yeah, so the first and foremost thing, let me click on this. So if you are seeing my screen, once you get to this particular website, just click on this particular button to download the Flutter zip file. So let me drop this link on the comment section. And so you can just come here, click this particular button, then it will start downloading. So this download is like I think 800 MB or so or less. So you can just start downloading it. So we won't have to actually wait for long before we do the installation and all. So this is the link. I've dropped the link on the comment section. So you can just click it and click on this button, as I said. So this is for the Flutter SDK. We also need some software, VS Code, um, Visual Studio Code. Sorry. So VS Code basically is a code editor. So we are going to be using VS Code mainly throughout the whole course. So you have to have your VS Code installed. Just in case if you have your all these particular software installed already, you don't need to bother really installing them again. Um um you can just use the one you have on your system. So let me just click on this. So as I'm dropping the link on the comment section rather, ensure you are downloading the software so we won't have to wait for anyone when we are doing the setup, because we are still coming back to the introduction. I just want us to download all the software that is they should be ready on our system. So by before we finish the introduction, then we can just move to setting up all this software. So that's why we are actually doing this now. So now this is VS Code. If you're on Windows, Linux, and Mac, then if you're on Windows, just click on this button. So this is the link. Let me drop it here. I guess everybody is following you, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Please, if you are not really getting something, you can just point it out in the comment section, or probably just talk so I can just try and pause and answer any question or any clarification you might have. So after downloading VS Code, you also need Android Studio. So Android Studio, basically, I will still do more introduction on all this software that you are downloading, but Android Studio basically is to set up our Android environment. That is, we'll be building for mobile. So Android Studio is to have all the SDKs that are required for Android development. So that's why we've been needing Android Studio. So let me just come here. Okay, the internet is somehow slow. Okay, so once you get to this link now, just click on download Android Studio. So this is Android Studio. Again, if you have all this software on your system, you don't need to re-download them. So just keep those software that you have on your system already, and you can just install it if you don't have it installed already. And if you have it installed already, just wait till you get to the next section, which is the introduction to Flutter and Dart. So let me drop this link on the group. Yes, the video is recorded and it will be uploaded to a Google Drive, I guess, and everybody can also rewatch it later. So sorry, Mr. Abasidapo, please, you can mute your mic if you are not talking, so we can all hear me clearly. Okay, thank you very much. So now, after downloading Flutter SDK, VS Code, and Android Studio, the next software that you need to download is Git. So Git mainly is a version control software. So you need Git because Flutter itself is uploaded on GitHub. So Flutter version is managed by Git. So we have to have Git installed on our system before we can use Flutter. So now, once you get to this link, you can see this what is it called now? This monitor at the left hand side. So this monitor, you can see the download for Windows. So you can just click on this download for Windows, then that will be it. So let me drop the link on the group. Send the link to join the Telegram Expressive. Actually, I don't think we have a Telegram channel. We only have Slack channel. So the only channel we have for this bootcamp is Slack. So I think that's the only channel we have. Every of these stuff will be dropped on the Slack channel. I don't think we have Telegram. Yeah. So now moving on. So after downloading all these four software, I think we are actually cool. Although if in case we will be needing any other software, I will let us know during the call. So now I believe we have all tried to download this software. Okay, so let me just try and close this for now. So as I said earlier, for everyone joining before my introduction, my name is Samuel Adekunle, and I'll be the one anchoring this section. So what this section basically is for is to introduce us to Flutter and to Dart also. So now, what is Flutter? Okay, I think I've answered the question earlier. So what is Flutter? So let's try and Google search Flutter because uh, just need to Google search it. Yeah. So what is Flutter? So according to Google themselves, so Flutter is an open source UI software development kit created by Google. So now, in terms when we say open source, what does open source mean? Sorry before I continue. If you can't hear me anymore, just try and signify or just try and speak up so I can draw back a little bit. Yeah. So Flutter is an open source UI software development kit created by Google. So when you said open source, what open source simply means is that Flutter is open to the public. That is, you can develop with Flutter. You can also add your own feature with Flutter. You can probably you found an error in Flutter. You want to fix the error yourself. You can do that with Flutter. So open source simply means that it is open to the general public. That is, anybody can add to the Flutter code. So that's what open source simply means. So Flutter is an open source UI. So UI is simply means user interface. So Flutter basically is used to design mobile application. That is all if probably the most used app on your phone now is probably WhatsApp now. All the structure that you are seeing are the UI. That is from where you see that chat, status and call. Those are the UI, all the profile picture, the person name, the contact's name, and the last message that you are seeing on the phone. That's the UI because that's what you can interact with. But once you click on the send button, that is if you want to send a message to someone, and once you click on the send button, there's a functionality that is attached to that send that is not actually feasible to the user. So all those stuff now are backend aspects, that is their logic aspects, they are not related to Flutter. So Flutter is to design only the UI, that is what the user see. So that's the UI and software development kit created by Google. So if you are just knowing today, Flutter is created by Google, same as that. So that is the program language used by Flutter. We'll get to that shortly. So now, moving on. If you guys are seeing my screen, I'm actually reading what is here, so you can just try and read along with me. So it is used to develop it is used to develop cross-platform application for Android, iOS, Linux, macOS, Windows, Google, Fuchsia, and the web from a single code base. So what this paragraph or what they are trying to say here is that with Flutter you can develop for various OS. So the main purpose of Flutter when they were launching it actually was to develop for cross-platform mobile application. So cross-platform is in the sense that you can develop for Android and iOS. So when we say Android and iOS now, Android and iOS is actually they are actually they're actually different. That is, their OS is totally different. They are not the same at all. So before Flutter, if you want to develop for Android, you have to learn either Java or Kotlin. And if you want to develop for iOS, you have to learn either Objective-C or Swift. So you have to learn either of these two to develop for Android and Objective-C and Swift for iOS. So and those program languages are not the same at all. That is, they are totally different program language. So you have to learn either of the two to develop for the two platforms. So Flutter is trying to create the gap between learning two program language to build for two separate, instead of learning Java or Kotlin for Android and learning Swift or Objective-C for iOS. Just learn Flutter, then you can build for both platforms. So that's what this cross-platform here simply means. So cross-platform application, that is cross simply means two. So Android and iOS. So now Flutter also extend its capability to desktop development. So basically, if you want to develop for desktop, so an example of desktop application now is this browser that I'm currently on. You want to develop something like Chrome browser now, you have to learn some language. For Windows now, we have Windows, we have Mac, and we have Mac OS and we have Linux. So you have to learn there is program language that is assigned to each of these OS before you can build an application for them. But with Flutter, you can just learn only Flutter, then you can have application on Android, on iOS, and all these desktop OS, that is Linux, Mac OS, and Windows. So moving on now, we have Google Fuchsia. So this Google Fuchsia is like a mobile OS also, although it's still I'm not sure if they have actually launched it, but it's still it's not that popular yet, so it's still under probably review. I'm not sure. You can try to Google it yourself. So with Flutter, you can also build an application for this particular ways that Google is developing themselves, which is called Google Fuchsia. So that's that. Also, you can develop with Flutter. You can also build a web application. If you want to build a website before, you have to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Bootstrap, and all this language that is related to web development. But with Flutter, just learn Flutter alone, then you can build for um, all these all these platforms with single code base. So it's not like if we want to build with iOS now in Flutter, you have to write one code. If you want to build for Android in Flutter, you have to write another code. If you want to build for this, so you have to write another code. That's not how it works in Flutter. All of this software is managed with single code base. That is, you just do your code once and you will have all of these you have all of these, you have your application running on all of these platforms. So that is one of the advantages of Flutter. That is, just write your code once and get your application in all of these platforms. So that was a brief introduction about Flutter. So Flutter was launched, Flutter was first described in 2015, but it was released May 2017. So I will just try and go through a particular article that has introduction to Flutter. I hope we are all following. Okay. So I would like two more response if we are following. I can see David Onoche on the comment section. Okay, okay, that's good. So that's good. So now I'm just trying to go through this article because this article has more information about introduction to Flutter and all. So as I've said earlier, Flutter is a Google mobile SDK to build native iOS and Android desktop applications and web apps from a single code base. So, as I said earlier, with Flutter, you write your code once, then you get your application on all of these OS. That is, write your code once, then get your application. That is, assuming I build an application and probably let me try and think of one application. Probably I built WhatsApp. I think we all used to WhatsApp. So I built WhatsApp, for example. Now, instead of me writing another code for iOS with Flutter, once I write that code for WhatsApp, it can work on Android, on iOS, on desktop, and on web. So that is the awesomeness of Flutter. Although on some of these platforms, you have to do some little adjustments that for it to actually work perfectly with the OS, but it's not like rewriting the code all over again. So that's that. So now moving on now, you can all also read along. So I am here where we have when building application. So when building application with Flutter, everything towards widget. So with Flutter, in the Flutter world, if you have actually roll with some Flutter guys before, you will have heard them saying everything in Flutter is widget. So we'll be using widgets. That is, our entire application in Flutter is all about widget. So that's what this article is trying to say. So when building an application with Flutter, everything towards widget. The block with which the Flutter apps are built, they are structural elements that are shipped with a bunch of material design specific functionality and new that can be composed out of existing ones too. So the process of composing widgets together is called composition. The user interface of the app is composed of many simple widgets, each of them handling one particular job. That is the reason why Flutter developers tend to think of the app as a tree of widgets. So what they are trying to say here basically is that with Flutter, all of your application is wrapped around widget. That is, it will be a widget inside another widget and all. We get to know of what is widget exactly later in the course, that is in the bootcamp, not today. So we get to know what widget is exactly. So moving on now, we have two main types of widgets in Flutter. So we have stateless. These are the two main types, although we have some other types of widgets out there. But the two main types that you'll be using regularly on your project are these two. So the two main is at stateless widgets and stateful widget. So stateless widgets basically is stateless widgets cannot change. That is, anything on that particular screen is static. It cannot change. It's just like you writing a text only on that screen. Probably you just wrote welcome to OUI Bootcamp, and that's all for that screen. So everything on that screen is just static. That is, nothing dynamic can happen. A button cannot change a variable and all those stuff. So that's what stateless widget is all about. Why stateful is like the opposite of stateless. Stateless is a widget or a class that can change. So anything you do on that class or on that screen can change. That is, you can have some animation, for example. You can perform some functions. You can perform some dynamic stuff and all. So that's the two main difference of these two widgets that we have here. Although this explanation will still be extended because we still have the Flutter section itself that we have throughout the bootcamp. So these two widgets will be explained more intensely when we get to that particular topic. So now moving on now, we have this diagram here. Let's just try and skip it. So now, in every company that you build, you usually have like a competitor. So Flutter also has a competitor, just like when we say I'm trying to look for an example actually. So when you just say probably Milo to Bonfita, they are like competitor, I guess. So Flutter also has competitor. So one of the main competitor of Flutter is React Native. Sorry, please excuse me for a minute. I want to. Yeah, sorry about that. So I just have to quickly on my fan. This is Nigeria. It just took the light, so I have to just put on the fan. Yeah. So let's just get back to our introduction. So sorry everyone about that. So now, as I said before dropping off, Flutter as a competitor. So one of the major competitor of Flutter is React Native. So React Native, although Flutter has some other competitor like Ionic, we have another one like that, but they don't really have name unlike Flutter and React Native. So these are the two major competitors. So now, what is the main feature of React Native and Flutter? So Flutter was launched in Flutter initial release was in 2017, while for React Native 2015. Flutter program language is that is Flutter is based on that, while React Native is based on JavaScript basically, or React JS. So Flutter allows you to controls every pixel on the screen, while React Native controls via the native mobile component. Flutter is cross-platform, mobile, web, and desktop. React Native also is cross-platform, mobile, React Native, web. If you can see now, React does not have desktop application, and for React, you have to learn React JS to build for web. Yeah, but they are all similar when we are talking about React. Flutter is developed by Google, while React Native is developed by Facebook. Flutter current version is actually 3.05, not 3.01. I don't know the current version of React Native because I've never tried it before. So the current version of Flutter is 3.5. If you check that Flutter website, that is the SDK that we downloaded earlier, it will be 3.05. Yeah. So app performance is higher in Flutter. Flutter 60 FPS or 120 FPS animation. Flutter itself paints and control every single pixels of the screen. So what this one is trying to say is that on every angle of on a mobile phone, on Android now we have like different structure of Android phone. For example, now a Samsung structure is different from that of Google Plus. Is it Google? Yeah, Google Plus. And we have another one pixel. Like this, their structure is different. There's some screen that we have this bent screen and all. So with Flutter, you have control over um all the pixel actually. Yeah, so for React Native also it requires the JavaScript bridge to interact with the native component. So with React Native you have to be interacting with the JavaScript before you can actually do some native component. So Flutter is the fastest growing framework for cross-platform development. Community support for Flutter is amazing with over 100,000 GitHub star and 15,000 folks and over 41 closed issue. It is leading the industry. So right now, Flutter is actually the leading cross-platform development language as of right now. So I would like to also ask if Google develop a particular product and Facebook develop a product, which one will you actually go for? Question. So if Google launch a product and Facebook also launch a product, which one you go for? Okay, Google. Another one. Any other person? Okay, so we don't need to actually ask why we'll be choosing Flutter over React Native anymore, because basically Google is like the giant of tech. So any product that Google launches there, it will surely be something that's what it. So and for Flutter also some of the application that Google has before. Example, we have Google Ads. They are all rebuilt with Flutter once Flutter was launched. So we all know that any Google product will surely be amazing. So you don't need to actually ask ourselves why we need to learn Flutter again, because basically one of it is Flutter is built by Google. Flutter has awesome community, because out there, if you just go on YouTube now, you just search for Flutter for beginners or so, you will see a lot of resources, articles, community out there that are ready and willing to help you. That's what this OUI Bootcamp also is trying to do, because we know that we have some people that are trying to join the mobile development space. Yeah. So now this is like a code snippet of what Flutter look like. I won't actually go through this code explanation now, because we still have a lot to do before our times run out. So I won't go through this code explanation now. We will know more about this code once we start our development. So this is the output of this code that is up there. That is the code snippet. This is the output rather. So moving on now. The biggest selling point of Flutter Tech are two things. So these are one of the two biggest selling points of Flutter. Flutter app has high performance. That is, with Flutter apps, there's some language. I've actually not tried React Native before, so I can't really talk on how React Native app behave. But according to some articles I've read, Flutter app tend to perform Flutter app's performance is actually high. According to some articles I've read before, Flutter app's performance is higher than that of React Native. So, as per what they said here, the apps developed using Flutter are highly expressive and have flexible UI. That is, with Flutter, any UI that your UI UX designer might give you, you can actually sketch everything out with Flutter. So, it's fast development due to hot reload brings the app to life, and it expressively provide features that are key for native and user experience. So in Flutter now we have a particular feature called hot reload. So this hot reload actually helps developer a lot, because the hot reload feature is for you to see any changes that is made from your code. That when once you are doing the coding, probably you are writing my name is Samuel, for example. Now, instead of you restarting, rebuilding the app all over again from scratch, with the help of Alt Reload, you just reload the app not from scratch. It will just load the VM, that is the virtual machine that is controlling the app for Flutter. It will just load it up on your device, and you will see the changes instantly without you having to reload the app from scratch. So that's what Auth Reload is basically for. Unlike Java, I'm not sure if they have actually introduced Auth Reload to Java, but unlike Java, you have to reload your application from scratch before you can see some changes. Yeah. So number two selling point now is expressive and flexible UI. So with Flutter, you can build any kind of UI. Just ask your UI designer to bring the UI. Any kind of UI you can design it with Flutter. So Flutter lets developer build beautiful looking apps with ease by using pre-built material widgets. Even though many widgets are pre-built, still Flutter enables full customization of the widget. So there's a lot of available widgets in Flutter. That is, in Flutter now we have pre-built widgets. That is widget that you use throughout your application. So with this widget, you can use it to customize your app anyhow you want it, and you can also you can also build your own widget also on your own project. That is, I want to have a customized widget, so you can do that in Flutter. So moving to number three now, we have fast development and auto reload. I think I've talked on auto reload before. So auto reloading refers to the injection of new version of the file that you edited at runtime while keeping the app running. So this auto reload simply helps with fast development, because I can imagine me typing this in Samuel Adekunle and I want to uh, put some other comments underneath. That is, okay, this is Samuel Adekunle, I'm a software developer. So once I type I'm a software developer, I have to reload the app. You know how many minutes or seconds, probably minutes, seconds, depending on how fast your system is. So you don't know how many minutes it will take to actually restart the app from scratch. So with the help of us reload in Flutter, Flutter will just inject the new version of files that you just change, that you just make changes to, and it will show up on your device. So you get to know more of what you load once we start development. So these are the three major selling points of Flutter. So we have the pros and cons of Flutter. That is, the probably, let's just say, the advantages and disadvantages of Flutter. Flutter, the advantage first of all is that Flutter use single code base. That is, you do your coding once and you get your project in several on any platform that you want to run the project on. So that's number one. Both Flutter Lounge and community are developing with great speed, releasing new features, widgets, and add-ons. So the community of Flutter is so awesome that we have a lot of packages out there that you can use, that you don't need to actually do some stuff yourself. You can just install some packages and get started with project. And most of the companies now are actually moving to Flutter because it allows them to launch their project, that is their project, very soon, within a month or a month and a half, 2 months, depending on how fast your developer is. You have launched your project out there, because Flutter is very fast in terms of development. So Flutter has its own set of widgets rather than using widgets provided by the host operating system, which means the user provides his own gesture recognition model, thus having greater control over the pixel rendering or customization of the widget. So what this point is trying to tell us is that Flutter has its own set of widgets. Instead of calling the operating system, that is the host, if you are running your Flutter app on Android now, that's the host of that particular project. So instead of calling all these hosts operating system widgets, Flutter has its own widget that works very fine. So the reason for this is to enhance our fast development and everything related to it. So now moving on, the auto reload is a game changer in the productivity of the development process. So auto reload, as I said earlier, helps really with fast development. So moving to the next point, Flutter is not bound to RM. I don't know the meaning of this RM, sorry. I actually do research on it. So that is the widget system. So it enhances its portability over a wide ambit of Android version and thus lowering its dependency on the host platform. Moving to the next point, Dart and Flutter unite closely to optimize that virtual machine for those mobile which are specifically needed for Flutter. So, can you all hear me? Can you all still hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so moving on, I think we should move very fast. So these are the advantages of Flutter, and we have some little advantages. So the only advantage, disadvantage, not really disadvantage, but the only somehow disadvantage, as they said, is Flutter using Dart program like because that is relatively new in the tech space. So people need to learn that first in this bootcamp also we learn that program language first before we can actually move to Flutter. So that's one of the disadvantages, as they said. Not really a disadvantage, but something new that you just have to that you are not used to that you just have to learn before you can get started with Flutter. But that that is the program language used for Flutter. That is similar to that of JavaScript, C sharp. So that is from the family of C. So we have C, C++, and all. So the syntax are somehow the same, although there are some little bit different. So if you have studied JavaScript before or C++, you will it will be easy for you to actually get started with that. So that's just a simple explanation. So that's everything about introduction to Flutter. Do you have any question before moving on to um, our introduction to that program language? Any question at all?
No, sir.
Okay. With the absence of no response, I guess you don't have any question. Okay. So, moving to that program language now. So that program language also is built by Google. You can see that all the Flutter stuff are actually Google products. So it will be like a added advantage because the whole of Google developer will be working on this particular two languages. So Dart is also open source program language originally developed by Google. It is meant for both server side and well as the user side. The Dart SDK comes with its compiler, that is the Dart VM, and a utility Dart 2JS, which is meant for generating JavaScript equivalent of a Dart script, so that it can be run on those sites also which does not support that. So the reason for this JavaScript equivalent is for us to be able to run our project on the web. With Flutter now, you can run that your particular project on the web like this on a browser. So that's why Flutter is using the is equivalent to that of JavaScript script. So that's that. So moving on now, that is object oriented. In program language, we have like five type of program language. We have OOP, that is object oriented language. We have logical, we have functional, and some other two that I can't remember right now. But the one that is related to that, the main one in most of the program language that you might have here out there is object oriented language. So that is also is object-oriented language and is quite similar to that of Java program language. That is extensively used to create single-page websites and web application. Best example of that application is Gmail. So that Gmail, we are all used to Gmail now. We know that we have a Google Gmail account. So that Gmail is built with that. Some of the Gmail, although they have several program language that they use to build Gmail, but that also was one of the program language that was used to build the Google Mail. Yeah. So that's it. So the next thing is the installation. So we go to that. So instead of going through all this process, we have easy installation guide. So I would like to ask, are we all done with the downloading of all the software that I pointed out earlier? Anybody? Are we done downloading the softwares? Hello, people. Can you still hear me? Not yet. Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm done.
Okay. You know what? I will just walk you through the process of installation. You know, on the Slack channel now, you can actually ask questions. You can for this installation process. I know there's be some people that are yet to finish the installation, so you can post your question on the Slack Flutter channel. On that Flutter channel, basically, you can just post your question relating to this particular setup. Then I will answer everyone. Okay, Pascal, you have it installed. That's awesome. So that's nice. So for everyone that are yet to install that are yet to install Flutter environment and all, let's try and do that now. So the first and foremost thing is to check how to install Flutter basically. So we go through the Flutter installation documentation. So now this is the Flutter homepage, that is the Flutter website itself. Sorry, give me a second. Okay. So the URL of that website is just flutter.dev. You can just check it out yourself. So now we can just click on this get started button. So to check the doc, that is the documentation. So now this is the installation. So if you're on Windows, your installation is somewhat different. If you're on macOS, your installation is different. If you're on Linux and Chrome OS. So I will also like to ask again, is anybody here on macOS or Linux? Because me myself I'm on Windows. So if you're on macOS, your installation guide will be different a little bit, not really different from that of Windows, but it will be somewhat different. So is anybody here? Pascal, okay, you said you have done the installation, right? So I guess you don't need to walk through macOS again since you are done with the installation. Anybody else with macOS or Linux? Okay, I guess we only have Pascal here that is on macOS. So now for Windows user, just click on this window. You can see that we have this window button. So just click on the window button. Then these are the system requirements. I believe our system actually match this requirement, because if your system does not match this requirement, Flutter won't run on that particular system. The same is just that your system should be Windows 10, 64 bits or 32 bit base. So your disk space should be at least 1.64 gig space. Then the two and all this stuff. So now moving on, I'm sure that you have all download this zip file. We have all download the zip file, right? Hello guys, please, are you following?
So what is this?
Okay.
And someone is trying to connect. The person can't connect, please.
You're trying to connect where?
Uh, to the call, the Zoom.
Let me try and check the Slack. Sorry, just a minute. Okay. I'm not seeing anybody here actually. I think the link is actually open. Anybody can actually join if they have the link to the what's it called now? The Google Meet. So they should probably the person should just close the page and try to rejoin again. it should work.
Okay.
So now, I would like to know the list of words that are actually following the installation. So if you are following the installation, can you just say hi on the comment section? Just say hi. Okay, that's one, two. Okay, okay, three. Okay, so let's just move on to the next thing now. So once we have this file downloaded on our system, you have the zip file. So I guess we all have this WinRAR that you can use to unzip Flutter file. So if you have WinRAR, just click on this file that you just downloaded, that is the Flutter Windows, and unzip the file. Actually, I have the file downloaded on my system already, so I won't be going through the download again. But I will walk you through the process of the installation. So once you unzip the file, have you guys unzipped the file, the Flutter file?
No, I don't know how to do that.
Cool. Okay. Just if you should have everybody should have this particular software, WinRAR or WinRAR, anyhow they pronounce it. So just download this software. So this software just help you to unzip any zip file. So just click on download WinRAR like this. Then you have it on your laptop. Then once this file is on your system, you'll have seen the logo on your Windows Explorer. So you'll have seen it probably in your download. Then you just double click it. Then it will ask you to what's it called now? Let me just try and even download the file if it won't take too much time, because this file is like close to 900 MB, but I guess it will take time. So once you just double click on that zip file, the WinRAR software will ask you to extract the file. So on the top bar here that you have some function, just click on extract. So once you click on that extract,
So I'm trying to get the spelling of the winner.
so this is it, WinRAR. Yeah, this is it.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
Okay, so once you have the WinRAR now, so as I was saying, sorry. So just click on the double click on the file, as I said earlier. Double click on the file. The WinRAR will show a pop-up asking you where you want to extract the file. So you can just click on the extract button. So the extract button also will ask you for the location to extract the file. You can just click on OK. It will extract the file on that same, probably your download folder. So you have the files like just like something like this. Yeah. So just do that. Once you are done with that, please let me know. If you have any question, please you can just pick up so we can actually move fast. So once you are done with that, please let me know. Hello? Are you guys still on the call?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I guess actually some people are having trouble joining the call. I don't know why. Somebody just messaged me that she was unable to join the call. Just trying to check.
Sir, please just go extract the file too.
Just extract it to anywhere, probably your download folder or anywhere on your system actually. Just click on OK. It will bring the stuff. So once you extract the file, we will now move it to somewhere else. So let's just finish up with the extraction first. So please, once you are done with once you are done extracting the file, just comment done. Just write done in the comment section so we can move forward. Yeah. Please, I'm waiting for us. You can drop in case you have any question, you can drop it. You can unmute yourself and talk if you feel like. Okay. Okay, please, anybody else on the call doing the unzipping? First off, Mba, are you following? Are you following us with the installation? Gideon, Pascal. Okay, Pascal is done with the installation. Olalawa, Umpre, are you guys following us? Okay, David Olusha is done. Anybody else following us with the installation?
Good evening, please. I just joined, so I don't really know anything
Oh,
about it.
wow. So I don't even know where to start from again now. So the what you're actually doing now is we are doing the Flutter installation. So I would like to ask Gideon, have you heard of Flutter before? That is, have you came across Flutter before?
Flutter,
Yes.
not really actually.
Okay. Have you done any development? That is, have you learned any program language before? Probably HTML,
Any
CSS, or
programming language? Not. I'm not really into programming language. Just starting. The only thing I have of programming language is those VS code. That's all.
okay, but you want to learn mobile development, right?
Sir?
I'm asking that you want to learn mobile development with Flutter, right?
Yes.
Okay. Are you with your system right now?
I'm not really. I'm on the way right now. I'm on the road.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
Yes.
you know what? Those of you guys that are yet to do your installation, we actually drop the dog on the Slack channel, so you guys can try to do the installation on your own. And if you have any question, just drop it on that Slack channel. I'll surely reply everyone. So just I know most people will be going to their various houses by this time. Yeah. So would do the installation when I have light and message you. Okay, okay, Lawa, okay, that's nice. Okay, so
Thank
I
you, sir.
think okay, probably should just continue with the setup now. So once you are done
I'm
with
still extracting it.
okay, that's nice. Okay, so once you are done extracting the file now, the next thing is wherever you have that file, that is that Flutter file, you actually see the Flutter file. If you click inside the Flutter file, you see probably another Flutter folder, that is the folder with the Flutter itself, just Flutter. So that Flutter folder, come to your copy that Flutter folder that you have there that was extracted. So copy that Flutter folder and come to this your local disk. Just come to this particular guy here. So once you come to this particular screen now, create a new folder. We just click on this guy, just click the new folder. Once you click on it, you can call it XCR. If you check the Flutter documentation, you can see what they have here as number 2. Extract the zip file and place the contained Flutter in the desired installation location for the Flutter SDK. For example, your CSRC/Flutter. So what we are simply following the doc also. So just come to this your C, that is your local disk here. Create a new folder and name it SRC. So once you have this folder like this folder like this, once you have it, just come inside it and paste your Flutter folder, the one you copy from your probably your download folder. Do we all get that?
No, sir.
No? Which part did you not get?
Please, sir. Come again.
Okay. So according to what we have on the documentation, once you have this zip Flutter folder downloaded on your device, just extract the file. I believe you have all extracted the file. So once you extract the file on your download, I guess most of us should have the file in our download. So once you have the file extracted in your download, the file will look something like this. That is something like this new folder that I have here. So instead of the new folder that I have here, you will have something like Flutter underscore Windows underscore something something. Although if you don't have that, you rather have like Flutter, that is just Flutter with no other name attached to it. So if you have Flutter underscore window with some other names, just double click on that folder, open it, and you will see the Flutter folder itself. So that would be the Flutter folder itself. So once you have that Flutter folder, copy it. So just once you click that folder, click on this copy. We have this copy button here on Windows. So just click on copy. So once you copy it, have you guys copied the file, the folder rather?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so once you copy it, come to your local disk here, this local disk that you have here. So come to this local disk and create a new folder. So the documentation we are following here is what we have on Flutter documentation itself. It's not like I'm just picking it from my head. It's because it's just what I've read from the Flutter documentation that I'm just trying to tell us. So on the Flutter documentation, what they have on number 2 is what you want to do now. So just come to your local disk here now. Come to your local disk, create a new folder. Just click on this new folder now. Then you can name the folder SRC. So this is my own folder here, this folder that I have here. So give the folder SRC or SCR. So that simply means source in short form. So I guess my own is even SCR instead of SR. Anyhow you name the folder. The main cocoa of the matter is that the folder shouldn't have space. That is, you shouldn't have a space in between the letters, in between the names of that particular folder. So there should just be a straight name, no space. So that's the main stuff. So once you have this folder created, open the folder by double clicking. You can see that I'm inside the folder now, my own folder, which is SCR. So once you're inside that folder, we copied the Flutter folder in our download earlier. So the Flutter folder that we copied, just paste it inside, just paste it inside of this SCR folder that we have here. So once you paste it, have you paste our Flutter folder here now, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Sorry, is anybody joining us now? Like, is there new? Who is that? I think I've seen Festus before now.
That's me.
Okay, Ayodele. Okay. Sorry, is it Ayodele Ologunbaba? Are you the one joining us just now?
Yes.
Okay. sorry guys, before I actually move back to the installation, I will try to quickly just ask Ayodele some question before we move on. So Ayodele, are you familiar with Flutter at all? That is, have you studied Flutter or heard about Flutter or so at all before?
Yeah, I started a couple of tutorials some week
Okay.
back.
Oh,
Yes.
oh, that's great. So that means you should have done the installation by now.
Yeah, I have.
Okay, okay. That's great then. So we don't need to actually go back to the installation process again. So what you're actually doing now is we are doing the installation for those doing the installation for the very first time. So that was what we're actually doing right now. Somebody else just joined the call now. I think Dams okay, she has left the call. So let's move on, guys. So I believe we have all pasted our Flutter folder inside this folder, right? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once you do that, so once you have this your Flutter folder inside of this location, that is inside of your local disk, and this ACR folder that you created, once you have the Flutter folder, just open this Flutter folder by double clicking it. So once you open it, you click on this bin also. Do you guys see the process? Click on the Flutter and come to this bin folder and double click on it. So once you are inside this bin folder, we will be copying the URL, not the URL per se, that I mean the directory of this particular folder. So what I'm doing basically is, if you check the doc, if you check the documentation, I think we are done with this point 2. So if you move on now, you see if you want to install blah blah blah, updating your path. So what we want to do basically next now is that we want to update our environment variable path. So in Windows we have, actually in macOS also we have a environment variable path. I think on Linux also it should have something like that, because I've not actually tried Linux before, but they should have something like that. So what you want to do is you want to set the path for Flutter, that is anywhere on this machine that you run Flutter command, the machine should actually recognize Flutter. So that's what we want to actually do. So we can run our app anywhere on this machine. So that's it. So once you're on this bin folder, I believe we are all on this bin folder, right? Are we all on this main folder? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. I know that the stuff might be boring. This installation is just one-time stuff. After this installation, we are done with installing everything we need. So it's just like one-time stuff. So you just have to do it. That's just the cocoa. So let's enjoy the boring class. I know it is boring, sorry. Yeah, so moving on now. Once you are on this bin folder, just click on this search. We have this something like a search or text something. So just click on it like this. You can see it's changed to C with colon, then SCR/Flutter/bin. So once you have something like this, just copy this directory. You can use Control and Control C to copy the directory. So once you copy the directory, we'll be opening our environment variable very soon. So please, have you copied the directory? Have you guys copied the directory? Have you guys copied the directory now? Okay, I should repeat that. Sorry, it's actually hard for me to even see the comment section, but let me just try and quickly do the recap. So once you are inside this bin folder, let me just start from this SCR. Let me start from here. So we created this folder which we named SCR. You might name it anything, but the most important aspect is that the name of that folder should not have space. It should just be like a single name like that. So we shall give it SCR. That's my own name. So SCR. So inside our SCR we have the Flutter folder. Inside the Flutter folder we have all these folders, that is all this file that was inside the SDK that we downloaded earlier. So we have all these folders here. So now we come to this bin folder here. So this bin folder here, we just open it. So just click on it, double click on it, then we are inside the bin folder. So I'm sorry, I'm coming. Let me try and be seeing the chat section like this. Let me just reduce it. So we are in the bin folder. Inside the bin folder now, you see the cache internal, min git, and all these other files. So once you are inside this bin folder, just click on this search, or not search, rather this feed that you have here where my mouse is. Just click on it. Just click on it like this. Once you click on it, you see that the directory has turned to this guy, that you have this s that you have c, then the colon slash scr. Your own might be different, it might be d or so. So just copy that directory now. You can use Ctrl Alt and copy the directory. Have you copied the directory now? Oluwadamilare, are you getting it now? What about Oluwada? Okay, that's awesome. So once you copy it now, once you copy the bin, just come to your search bar here under your taskbar. Just come to the search. Just come to the search and search for, just type env like this inside the search box. Just type env, then you see edit system environment variables. So once you type the env, you see this guy. I know you guys will be trying to see my screen and also do the same on your system, so I'll try to be waiting for you guys slowly. So if you have searched for env, just click on that env and open it. Just open it. Once you're on that env, let me know. Just drop it on the comment section that you are there or something. Okay. So let me open mine also. So once you open it, sorry, let me just type my password. Okay, so we have it here. So you have something like this. Once you open that env, you have something like this. So when you have something like this, you just come to this button here that says environment variable. So just click on this environment variable that you have here, this particular guy where my mouse is. You guys can see my mouse, right? So just click on this environment variable. So just click on it. Once you click on it, you have this pop-up. Do you guys see that? Okay, so I guess we are all on this particular pop-up that you have here. So once you are on this particular pop-up, so we have two variables now. We have user variable for my username for this laptop, and also system variable. So the one we'll be editing basically is this user variable. So just come to this part. This part here, you can see the blue color one. Just come to this part and double click it. So just double click it like this. It will open up this another pop-up basically. So have you gotten this kind of pop-up that is on my screen? Okay, that's nice. So once you're on this pop-up now, just click on this new. Just click on the new and paste. We copied one directory, the flutter/bin directory that we copied earlier. Just paste it inside of this empty space that you have there. Just use Ctrl V and paste it like that. So let's do that real quick. Have you pasted it? Paste it like that. I'm sorry, let me check my recorder if it is actually okay. Okay, okay, that's nice. So once you have pasted it, um, once you have pasted it like that, just click on OK. Once you have pasted it, just click on OK like this. Click on OK, and also OK to this. Just click on OK for just close all this one. We are done with the environment variable stuff. So have you guys click on the OK? You have closed the environment variable. Have you guys done that? Okay. What about Oladamilare? Okay, that's nice. Okay. Okay. So moving on, and we are done with updating our parts. So the next thing now is to check our what's it called now? There's this one particular command in Flutter which is called Flutter Doctor. So the Flutter Doctor mainly is to check our installation if we are actually done with the installation or not. So Flutter Doctor will tell us if we still need to do some installation, that is some installation that are yet to be done and not. So that's what Flutter Doctor is. But now, before we actually do the Flutter Doctor of the thing, let's try and install the other software that we downloaded earlier. That is the Git. We downloaded VS Code also and Android Studio. So now on your download, you will have those software. So just try and install Git. Install Git. Just follow through all the questions they ask. If there is one question that you are not really that you are confused about, you can just drop it on this comment section, then I will answer you. So try first of all, try and install that Git that we downloaded earlier. So please let's do that real quick. Our time is going. Okay. Are you guys installing the Git already? Okay. Once you are done with the Git, try and install VS Code also. Just install the VS Code. So once you are done installing Git, just install
Okay,
VS
sir.
Code.
While installing the Git, should we launch Git bash or view the
No,
release
just
notes?
you don't need to launch it. You can just uncheck that launch. Just close it. You don't need to launch
View
it.
release notes.
Don't worry about viewing the release notes. Although if you want to read that release notes, is just basically to tell you all the feature of that stuff, but you don't need to really go through it. It's like a long text. You know, nobody reads terms and conditions, so you don't need to really go through it. Yeah. Okay, so once you're done with VS Code as well. So moving on, and let's just move to what's it called? Android Studio. That's the next thing. So move to Android Studio. Try and install Android Studio also. So you are just installing Git, VS Code, and Android Studio. So as I was saying earlier, VS Code is a code editor. So we'll be using VS Code mainly to do all of our coding, because VS Code is actually easy to use. I'm comfortable using VS Code, and I believe everybody also we're going to get a summary for us that should resume. Yes, I'm going to give you guys a summary. Okay, I would like to ask Moshood, were you able to have you heard of Flutter before, or have you done the Flutter installation before? That's for Moshood.
Really, sir. I'm just doing the installation now, but I'm having issues in my laptop actually, so that's why I'm studying.
Oh, okay. Is this something that can be solved on the call, or you have to wait some more?
I'm still extracting the files. I have to
Oh,
start again.
oh, okay, okay, no problem. Any question that you have, if even if we are done with the call, you can always drop your question on that Slack channel. I'll surely respond to you.
On which channel, sir?
On the Slack channel, you guys are added on this Slack channel, so you can drop it. Slack. So you have,
Okay,
okay.
okay, okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So there'll be a summary. So for okay, done with Android Studio. What about Damilare? Are you done with the Android Studio setup? Oh, great. Yes, there'll be. I'm actually recording this section. I believe there should be no what is it called, interference. It should be surely be recorded. Okay, that's nice. So once you are done with Android Studio now, the next thing is to let me open up my VS Code. So just open your VS Code like this. So you have your VS Code open up like this. So just open up your VS Code and come to this. You guys can see my screen, right? You can see my, okay. Can you see my, okay. Okay, let me go back to VS Code. So once you're on VS Code, you just click on this extension icon. So on this extension icon now, we have some list of icons that we just need to install for this bootcamp, so we can all be on the same page. So one of the most important package or extension to install rather is Flutter. So you have to have this Flutter extension installed. So Flutter extension support and support and debugger for or Flutter support and debugger for VS Code. I was trying to read what they wrote here. So this Flutter extension basically is to ensure the fast development of any Flutter project that you'll be using on VS Code. So just install Flutter. So once you install Flutter, Flutter and that will be installed together. So just search for in this your search extension in Marketplace. Just type Flutter like this. So when you see Flutter, once you search for Flutter, you'll have seen one install button just like this one. You'll have seen the install button. Just click on it and install it. You can search for the other ones. We have this awesome Flutter snippet. So this awesome Flutter snippet is to give us some code snippets. Like instead of you typing the whole stuff, you can just type one short keyword. Then this code snippet will just generate the remaining code for you. So that's what this awesome code, awesome Flutter snippet is doing. So install that also. So the next one is this GitHub pull request. So I will also be teaching us how to use GitHub on this bootcamp. So let's just install this GitHub pull request for now. We'll be using it later. Actually, we won't be using it as of right now, but just install it. So you can just search for all of this extension in this search box that we have here. So once you click on install, just leave them to be installing. We have this material icon. So this material icon actually is to just beautify your icons. So you will know that okay, you are doing something awesome. So all your icons will actually look awesome. So they will have material design and all. So you can just install it. And we have this prettier. So this prettier is a code formatter extension. So this guy here we format your code in a way that will also be meaningful to you. That is, once you see the code, okay, it will be meaningful to you also. You won't just writing the code in one single line that everything will just look jam packed. With prettier, Prettier will format your code in such a way that everything will be break into line by line. At least you will see the line arrangement. So that's for Prettier. So just install it. And we have this workout time. So workout time is to track your coding activities. As you can see here on my VS Code, you can see this 4 hours 51 minutes. That is the hours I've spent on coding for today. So that's the help of workout time. So with workout time, it helps you track your coding activities. That is how long you are been able to code for today. And with this, you'll be able to also measure your progress. Probably today you're able to code for like 30 minutes. Tomorrow you might want to do better and try coding for an hour and so on like that. So that's what this workout time is for. So you can go to their website, that's wakatime.com. So waka is just like waka, just like in Yoruba way, waka time. So wakatime.com, you can just go to the website, sign up there and come here. Once you install this waka time, it will ask you for an API key. So you have to enter the API key that you will be getting once you sign up on the waka time website. So you can check the installation documentation here for everything you need to see. So that's that about all the extension that will be needed in our VS Code. So have you guys download the I did not see the awesome Flutter. Oh, the awesome wait let me check. In your VS Code, just come to this address and search for Flutter like this. Just type Flutter. So the next, okay, awesome Flutter snippet is not here truly. Let me try and search for it. This is awesome Flutter. Okay, where did I see this package? This is weird. Awesome Flutter. Okay, you know what? Just install Flutter. Don't worry about it. So just install the Flutter extension first of all. Install the Flutter extension and probably the Flutter snippet, the awesome Flutter snippet will come up. I can't even remember where I got the Flutter snippet from. Probably it comes with the Flutter extension. I guess so. Probably it comes with it. So just install the Flutter extension first and let's see. So once you are done installing all the extension, let me know. Let me try and open up my VS Code so you guys can see all the so let me do like this so I can also see the chart. So try and finish up installing all of this extension that I have here. So once you are done installing it, just drop it on the comment section so we can move forward. Yeah. Once you are done, please let me know. You don't need to wait for it to actually finish installation. Just click on the install. Once it starts installing, let me know. We can go to some other stuff while the extensions are still installing. So once you click on the extension, once you click on install, please let me know in the comment section so you can move forward.
Okay, so you have installed the Flutter, I've installed the workout time. What are the awesome Flutter snippets? I did not see it. What else should I install?
For this awesome snippet, I actually don't know how it's no more on what's it called, VS Code extension. Have you installed this material icon theme and GitHub pull request, David?
No, sir. I'm coming. Let me get the name.
Okay, you guys should not worry about Flutter snippet for now. Let's just leave it for now. Let's move to the others. Have you guys installed the other ones aside this awesome Flutter snippet? Okay. Okay, that's awesome then. So the next thing is to set up our Android studio. So I think we are done with VS Code like that. So come just open your Android studio. You know you have the install and your download. So just double I think you have installed it actually. So just open up your Android studio. Open your Android studio and come to your window key and search for Android studio and just open it. So just do that really quick. So mine is still loading. You know, VS Code is how Android Studio rather is actually heavyweight, so it will have to load for some time. Okay. So yours might not uh your own Android Studio might not be on this particular page. It might be from your start screen. So it's just like a selection that is for you to select the theme and some other stuff. So just go through the installation process. It's actually simple. Just read the instruction and go through it. So once you are done with that, let me know. Um, I actually material. What are you referring to?
The one we are supposed to install on the VS Code.
Material icon. Are you not done with the VS Code aspect?
No,
Ah, Wahala. So just this is the list, and that once you install Flutter, that will be installed automatically also. So material icon theme, pick tier and workout time. Those are the extensions. Okay. Um, Damla, you're also done with Android Studio, right? David, you're just done with what? You're just done with VS Code. What about Android Studio? Not yet. Okay, please quickly do that while we wait. So the Android Studio is actually straightforward. So just once you click on the what is it called, the installer, just what is it called now? Accept all this stuff. Just go through the installation process. It's actually straightforward. So once you are on that once you're on that what's it called, the VS Android Studio rather, once you are done with all the setup, now we need to run our Flutter Doctor. So the next thing is to, please, what should we do on Android Studio? Just install your Android Studio basically. If you have your Android Studio set up already, you don't need to do it all over again. David, do you have your Android Studio set up already? Okay, that's awesome. So the next thing we need to do now is to check our setup, to check our Flutter setup if we actually done. So now you on my system now, you can use window R. So you guys just click on window R. So once you click on window R, so once you click on window R, you have this pop-up here. You have this pop-up here. Do you guys have this pop-up on my screen? That is on this, is it right? Yeah. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so just type, not yet, can you repeat that? Okay, so I said just click on window R. Let me type it here. Win plus R. So just click window R like that. And once you click that, once you click on window plus R, you have this run pop-up or program pop-up on your screen. So just type cmd in the box. Just type cmd like that. So what we want to do basically is that we want to open up the system command prompt. You know, the command prompt is used to just like we have different user interface in the computer. So we have like graphics user interface and we have command line user interface. So this command line is the one we are going to be using to run the Flutter setup check. So once you have this guy, just type cmd and click on OK. So once you click on OK, then you have this command prompt on your screen. This dark, your one might not be dark, your one might be different color, but it's this guy that says Microsoft, all this their stuff. So once you have this command prompt on your screen, please let me know. I'm waiting for you guys. Okay, what about Damilola and Moshood? Are you guys done with this? Okay, so once you are on this command prompt, just type Flutter Doctor with -v like this. Let me put it in the comment section. Inside your command prompt, just type in front of this guy, just type Flutter Doctor space, there will be space, Flutter space, Doctor space, -v. So what this command does, let me put it inside the comment section, Flutter Doctor -v. So just put that inside your command prompt. So what this command does basically is to check through our Flutter setup to see if there's anything we need to do. That is, if our whole setup is actually complete. So that's it. So are you guys? Do you guys have this Flutter Doctor written on your command prompt already? Okay, so once you have that, just click on enter. So just click on enter. So this Flutter Doctor will run some command for your own. Now it might try to download some stuff, so just wait for it to finish with its paparazzi. So just wait for it. It will take some time actually to load. So click on enter. Let's wait for it. So this is my own doctor. As you can see now, my own is showing all green. Green means go, or green means like success, red means danger. Mine is not showing any red. I might actually show some red stuff, that is there's still some installation you need to do. Mine is showing no issue found. In case you have any issue, just put it in the comment section so I can help you and fix it. So I'm waiting for you guys. Actually. Okay, for David, what are the two issues? Just try and put it on the comment section. Damilare, do you have any issue? That's good. That's good for Damilare. No issue. That's awesome. For David, no VS Code install. Oh, okay. So now, actually, that is not an issue per se. But aside Visual Studio, which other issue do you have, David? 100 license status or no? Okay. So in front of that 100 license status or none, you see a command. The command will look like Flutter 100 license hyphen probably license. So just copy that command from Flutter. Probably I can't remember the command actually. Flutter 100 probably hyphen license. My component is missing. Okay, you know what? This issue we can't actually fix this on the code. Just screenshot your Flutter doctor and paste it on the Slack channel. Then I will help you out with everything you need to do, because our time is actually fast spent already. Okay, yeah, so that's that. So for them Larry, now that you don't have any issue, that's actually awesome. So that's we're actually done with the full setup of Flutter and Dart. We don't need to actually do what is it called, that installation separately. Once we have Flutter setup, we also have that setup already. So if you check my Flutter doctor, so I have Flutter. In Flutter we have different channels. We have stable, we have beta, we have dev, we have master. So my own channel now is stable. So this stable means that this current version that I'm on is stable. We have for beta. The beta means that the version for that beta might not be, the name is beta, that is BTA. So the version of that beta might not be actually stable, that is there might be some error. So you should know. So for most of us will be on the stable version. So I'm on the stable channel with 3.0. So this is my Flutter version. So on Microsoft blah 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 and all this. So let's move past this one. My Dart version, as you can see now, my Dart version is 2.17.6. Dev 2, moving on. Taking 100 license. I've accepted all the 100 licenses also. So I have all my 100 SDK and all checked. That is, there's no error. I have my Chrome browser. We can develop for Chrome. So my Chrome browser is enabled. My Visual Studio also for desktop development also is checked, that is marked. And also the Android Studio setup for Flutter plugin and Java and Dart, everything is set up already. For VS Code also, the Flutter extension also is available. And for the last one, which is the connected device, once you create a Flutter project, you have to run it on some device. So presently, these are the connected devices on my own laptop right now. I have Windows. So any Flutter project that I build now, I can run it on Windows, I can run it on Chrome, I can run it on Edge. If I connect my phone to the system, I can run it on my phone. If I connect any other device to it, I can run it on that device. So this segment is just telling us the list of connected device. So for me now, I have 3 available. So moving on, we have this HTTP host available. All required HTTP hosts are available and no issue found. So that's it basically. So that's all for the setup on Flutter. So I guess that's all for tonight. I would like to welcome some questions if we have questions before I do the summary and we call it a day for today, because we'll be having another class. I guess I will check the curriculum probably tomorrow or on Wednesday. So I would like to welcome our question in case you have an error. For those that have a critical error like David now, just post a screenshot of that error and post it on the Slack channel, then I will respond to you as soon as possible. But if there's any major clarification you need as of right now, just the floor is open and you can just ask your question. We will be able to go through everything within these 30 seconds. Yeah, so this bootcamp basically is to get you started. We will teach you, or you will go through everything you need to know to get started. It's not like on some courses on YouTube now they will write from beginner to pro. Actually, we are not promising you from beginner to pro. We are just trying to lay the foundation for you so you can get started on your. After this foundation, that is all the basic stuff you need to know. That's what this bootcamp is for actually. So all the basic stuff you need to know to get started, you will know them in this bootcamp. Does that answer your question, Pascal? Pascal, are you there? Okay, that's cool. So any other question? Any other question before call it a day? Any other question? Okay. I'm still waiting. The section is actually 2 hours. That is from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. and we have like 7 minutes left to actually do the summary. So do you still have any question before we move on? Okay, so in the absence of no question, let me quickly brush through the summary of what you have been doing so far since morning. So what you actually the summary of everything we have done today is the introduction to Flutter and Dart and the installation. So in the mobile world, basically now, that is in the mobile application development world, basically, we have some program language. We have, for example, we have Java, we have Kotlin, we have Swift, we have Objective-C, we have Flutter, we have React Native, we have Ionic, and we have some other languages like that. So the where Flutter comes in basically, Flutter is a cross-platform software development kit that is cross-platform in the sense that you can use Flutter to build for both Android and iOS. Android and iOS are totally different from if you're on Android phone and on an iPhone, they are totally different. I'm not talking about the price now, that is how much you get an iPhone, or the camera now. I'm talking about the OS, that is how they actually behave is totally different. So how they totally behave is totally different. So if you want to bid for this platform, you have to write their language. So Flutter basically is bridging the gap between you writing two different language to bid for two different software. So with Flutter, you just write your code once and you get your project or your application on these two platforms. So one of the advantages of Flutter. And with Flutter, you can build a web application. Normally for you to build a website, you have to write HTML, CSS, Bootstrap. I don't know if they are still doing Bootstraps. What else again? I think they do React, JS, PHP, and all those languages like that, Vue.js and all these front-end language. But with Flutter, you just write your code once. The code that you use to run on Android is the one that you also use to run on iOS, is the one that you also run on web, and it's also the same code that will run on desktop. So you don't need to rewrite your code again to run on web. You are not writing HTML and CSS for that web part in Flutter. You are just simply writing Flutter code, and you get a web version of that Flutter code. So that's what Flutter is for basically. So Flutter was launched, the initial release of Flutter was May 2017, and Flutter is created by Google, same as Dart. So that is the programming language used by Flutter. There surely in a car now, a car has an engine. So every car has an engine. So the engine for Flutter basically is Dart. So that is a programming language, an object-oriented one. That is, it has classes, method, variable, and some other stuff like that. So that's what that is. That is also created by Google, and same as Flutter. So they both work. It's just like a company creating two platforms that work together. Do you know how awesome that will be? So that is it. And we also move on to the installation aspect. We move on to the Flutter website, where we move to this Flutter website, flutter.dev rather. So on the flutter.dev, you can just click on the get started button. So on the get started button now, you will see the documentation on the installation process. Actually, if you didn't get the installation process we did here, you can also check the documentation out yourself. So we have different installation for Windows, Mac, and Linux. All these OS are different, so their installation also are a bit different. So if you are on Windows, then you click on Windows. If you are on Mac, you are on Linux, and if you are on Chrome, then you click on your OS. So for Windows now, we have the documentation, so you can just follow through all the installation. You see all the setup, all the window, the agreements, Android license. Okay, this is the Android license I was trying to talk about earlier, and all the other software that you need to have in your system to get Flutter up and running. So I guess that is the brief summary of what you have been doing so far since and after 6 p.m. So do we have any question? Do you have any question? Anybody? Anybody at all? Okay. So in the absence of no question, I will want to believe we all have an awesome section together. If you actually enjoy the section, you can just try and do that in the comment section. Just try and let me know if you enjoy the section on the comment section below. Okay, thank you, Oluwadamilare. Thank you so much. Okay, so that will be all for today actually. So the next class will be communicated to us on the Slack channel. So everything basically will be communicated to us on the Slack channel. So thank you, Moshood. Thank you, David. Thank you, everyone. So on if you guys is like, it's not really compulsory, but if you want, you can just go on social media and okay, how can you get the sorry, Moshood, how do you get the link to join this call? Because the link will actually be forwarded to your mail. Once, do you register for this bootcamp actually? Okay, and you should actually get a link also to join the Slack channel. If so, please do we get, yeah, you get the recording for the class. You usually get the recording. I have the recording here. I should even stop it right now, so it won't have